Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching.
On a wallet that doesn't have nothing in it. That's my point. You sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to spend no money on the date. You ain't got no money to be on the date in the first place.
You could go to the park, nigga. You better
No,
make
you
some
can do
sandwiches.
some creative
You better
things,
go,
though,
no,
chaotic.
you better be
No, that's not
romantic.
the point. That's not the point about whether you can do creative
chaotic.
things or not. The point is that
Chaotic.
the
But listen what you're
discussion
saying.
that the video had said, you know, the men are going to sit on their wallet and not pay for nothing, right?
But listen
So
what you're
yeah,
saying,
the
chaotic.
park doesn't cost anything. The point is, how you going to sit down and have a statement saying, well, I'm going to sit on my wallet. I'm not going to do anything until we get married. You ain't got nothing to spend on in the first place.
Most broke niggas is the main one that
Yeah,
be
you
screwing
got a
about
group of
gold
men
diggers.
out here
Look,
saying
they're
that,
protecting. Hold on,
That's what's
boss man.
complaining.
These broke niggas is protecting the imaginary pot of gold for some gold diggers that they swear they want their money, right? The thing is, especially with the internet now, a lot of men are romantic, charismatic, and have no character. When you have those things, you don't have to go out on extravagant dates all the time. Me and my woman, we date very often, bro. We eat out at nice restaurants, all that shit, very often, right? This is the most I've dated in my life. I'm talking about in this relationship because we both are on that same level. But guess what? We know how to cut it off and budget. We know how to sit here and do romantic things in the house. We go places that doesn't cost a lot of money. We know how to take the kids to places that isn't expensive, educational places and things like that. People are living that. All right, go to the club right now. Take your old asses to the club. You're gonna be so disappointed. All motherfuckers doing is popping bottles, standing around looking at each other. They're not dancing with the girls. They just sitting there doing karaoke, holding their phones.
Facts.
And what I'm saying is certain things have unalived the culture. Bottle service has unalived the party scene. Social media has unalived dating and even approaching women. The women, you can't even approach them. They be like, oh my God, he's a creep. But then if you don't approach them, oh, the men aren't approaching us. They're beta males now. They're this. The world, the internet, and all these people have filled false narratives where it's full of misogyny, and a facade lifestyle, y'all. So you got to go out here, grab life by the horns yourself, and you can't take advice from these motherfuckers that's on the internet that's giving you a negative spin on men and women. If a motherfucker's always complaining about men and women, and especially if they're not in a relationship and they're not a catch, you got to bag the fuck away and go in and know what's good for you. That's the whole problem. It's a trend society, and we tend to get caught up in the trends and act like that's the reality for everyone else.
No, you speaking facts.
So back to what I was saying, Corey. They can't require something that they can't give. That's it. You can't be talking about I require something, but you can't give it.
That's
for me. Right? That's for men and women.
Yeah.
So the last piece I was trying to say before Omar cut me off, and to add to that, you can't require something you can't give. And then for the women, I am not going to go eat at McDonald's. So therefore, if I'm going to go eat and it's going to be at Hell's Kitchen or Martha Stewart's place or whatever else, then if you were to date and you're saying, oh, I'm going to date you or whatever else, then that's the place I'm going to go because that's where I'm used to eating at. Right. So it's not about, we should go on the first date at this place or whatever. If the person can afford it, they can afford it. If they can't, they can't. And that's the facade that's handed out because now somebody treated you a certain way and you think that's the way you should be treated from that point on. No, the only reason why we went to that expensive place is because that's what I want to eat. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
But then they'll see you're not being consistent.
Man,
you do that, they see you're not consistent. They see when you do that, you take and you don't do it consistently, they see you're not being consistent. You don't do that all the time, they see you're not being consistent.
Well, I'm gonna say chaotic must be a white man.
That's because a lot of times people lead with that, and then they think you lead with that, and then you attract those type of people. You don't lead with your character; you lead with your pocket.
I'm gonna say this, chaotic. You must be a white man. You must be a white man because all them places you named, white people on them, and that food be nasty, bland, no seasoning. I don't know what the hell. Boy, take me to the soul food spot in the hood. I need some salt and pepper and shit and sea salt in my goddamn food. I don't know, man. See, that's how I am. I like flavor. I'd rather eat from the Chinese people first.
But I don't think he's in those places. Hey,
I think he's dating within his budget. That's all.
I don't think the places he's named anything wrong with it. If he's able to afford it, then that's fine. The only thing that I pick from what he's saying, don't put any expectations on him after that. Like Man of Class said, You introduced me to this. Now I expect you to be consistent. So don't put those expectations. That's on him. So if he's able to afford it, there's no problem.
But them places ain't
You know what? Let me
necessarily.
tell you something real quick.
But,
You know what my biggest flex
I'm
is?
gonna say this right
Look,
quick,
look.
Omar. Wait a minute.
Oh, go ahead, boss man.
I'm gonna say this right quick. I'm gonna say it right quick. To that video. If y'all look at it, there's a lot of men like that that's saying, "Hey, I'm gonna start this because women doing this." Women have been saying for years that out there, and I'm holding out my cobbler until I get married. Remember when they put out the app? We're gonna put these men out here that's doing women wrong. What happened? A group of men said we're gonna put out an app too. These are argumentative men that like to argue with women. Whatever a woman put out, they got to put something out too. If you look at a lot of things like this, now you want to stand on your wallet. WB movement, because the women this and that. These are men that love to argue with women. These are the men that get with a woman and be competitive with a woman.
Because that's how you hide your misogyny. It's covert misogyny. The thing is, like I was saying, my biggest flex is that I know how to cook, right? So guess what? We're gonna go somewhere where we're gonna go on a date to where we're gonna cook this ourselves and sit down and enjoy the meal. That's gonna cost way less than the motherfucker cooking for me at Maestro's or Ruth Chris, right? And then you got to deal with the reality of the situation of where you are. A lot of motherfuckers don't know how to be upfront. The average person isn't living in their true self. They're living. You're living to impress this woman or impress this man when you meet him instead of being real.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a perfect example. If we go in somewhere as a group, I'm gonna let motherfuckers know if I'm paying for everything. Or nigga, you broke? Let us know. I'm grown. Don't get me to the spot and then you talking about you ain't got no money. Because guess what? It's gonna be taken care of. But at the same time, keep it real. You don't gotta flex. Motherfuckers do not know how to live in their own authenticity and be organic. That's what it's about. And it's a quote, and I've seen it on social media since I got on this motherfucker. Be yourself because everybody else is taken. When you live organically and authentically, everything that's meant for your life will come to you. But no, we too busy trying to be the next motherfucker. We too busy trying to talk about couple goals when the whole time he going upside her head and she done ripped off his whole bank account, or she cheating on him and he over here working 24/7 taking care of her. It's a whole lot to the situation. You got to get to know a person, and first of all, get to know yourself.
But that's the problem. So people have three versions of themselves: the people they really are, who you think you are, and who you want to be. And most people live in a realm where they think I think I'm this versus who they really are, right? So and once you know yourself, and I agree with you. You have to be self-aware. You have to do the work to be self-aware.
I think. I'm sorry,
Can
man,
I get
class,
can
but
I
I
get 10
think.
seconds real quick just to answer Corey? Look, I promise you I'll be real quick and I'm back out of here. My
All
soul food and all the good tasting food that I eat in my life is right here in my kitchen in my house. If I go out to eat, that's because we going out to eat because we want to try something else or whatever. I don't necessarily have to find soul food in the restaurant I'm going to because it's sitting right here in my kitchen. I got 3 girls and a wife who makes that type of food from Louisiana and from Charleston, South Carolina. I don't need all that. If I'm going to go out to eat because I want to go to Hell's Kitchen because I want to try they cordon bleu or whatever it is, that's why I'm going out there. Then I come home and get
Beef Wellington. The Beef Wellington.
Yeah, beef Wellington. My bad. That shit's good, isn't it?
No, but I just want to say this. So, the rhetoric I've been hearing all morning is you can't love a damn soul until you learn how to love yourself and learn how to take care of yourself and show discipline and consistency in your own lifestyle before you go out here and try to be with somebody else. That's basically what I've been hearing all morning long. And I think a lot of people touched on a lot of things and they were right in what they were saying. And this was great dialogue today. I truly appreciated it. And I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, man. I'm dropping back down. I love y'all, man, for real.
The internet has given this false sense of champagne taste with Kool-Aid budget. That everybody with Kool-Aid budget deserves champagne, right? I'm telling you, it's all a false narrative because, and I blame a lot of it on social media because back in the day, in the 80s, when I was growing up as a child, I saw it was only certain men that would approach certain women. Now we've convinced everybody that it's cool to date outside of your league. A lot of these people that people are approaching or feel that they deserve are totally out of their league. They're living in a delusional place in their life. And it's just the God honest truth. And people don't want to deal with that because the internet has told you that your ugly ass deserve Tyson Beckford. The internet has told you that your ugly broke ass deserve Holly Berry when it's not true. A lot of ugly motherfuckers make beautiful
But
children.
Omar, that's not your job to tell people what they
Omar.
deserve. That's not your job
It
to
is.
tell people
It is,
what they
Dad. It is.
deserve
That's
based
what
off of
people
your.
don't.
No, that's not your job to tell people what they deserve based off of your beauty standards. That's
But what
I
happens?
understand
What
that, but
happens
Dad.
when
she
people do that?
hold on,
Look
can I
at that.
finish?
All right, go ahead, Dad. Go ahead, Dad. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Dad.
Mediclass.
Yes, Dad. Go, Dad. I'm sorry.
Again, your standard of what you like, what you think is cute, what another nigga might think is cute is not what you think is cute. What I think is cute, Diamond might not think is cute. So I don't get to tell the Diamond that that nigga don't deserve this or that because I don't think he cute. She might think he cute. Like that, y'all got that shit crazy fucked up where y'all think y'all can tell people what they deserve.
But Dad, let me tell you this. Look, hold on, Babs. Let me reply to Dab real quick, y'all. Let me reply to Dab real quick, Babs. Look, Dab, I have a cousin, right? This nigga got like 5 kids. He ain't got no teeth. He ain't got no job, but he swear that he deserve a baddie who has a good job. And it's not just about looks. What I'm saying is, it's a lot of these women do make more money than men, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't jump into that shit.
Oh
knowing
wait, no, Amari. They said that's not true. They said that men are making more money than women. A lot of these men are not. A lot of women are not making more money than the men. But so they said that's not true, Amari.
Well, it's both
Omar,
ways, Diamond. It's both ways. And then what happens is, hold on, it's
Well,
both ways, Diamond, right?
those
That
guys,
those
those
both can be
people.
true. Look, but what happens is this is what we do. We'll get on here, and then we'll come with these fake ass statistics. A lot of these statistics that we do read on the internet is not true. Black people are the minority, right? Ain't that what they say? But if you go in the streets, who do you see more of? I'm just being honest. So a lot of these things, you have to get out here, experience life, live life for yourself. Because you could go get a handsome or beautiful woman that makes a lot of money, and their soul is fucking tainted. They could be mean people. They're not a fit for you. You got to really take time. And people be saying this shit, and I truly agree. You need to vet people. My vetting process might not be the same as yours, right? And what I learned is me being in multiple relationships over my lifetime, and I'm almost a middle-aged man now, is that I feel people should live together before they even get married. Because when you live with, it's different than living with a motherfucker than living by yourself. Because you got your spot, I got my spot.
I said that yesterday. They said I was tripping.
I'm over here cleaning up right now. You know why? Because I like to throw clothes all over the place. I like to take my clothes off, walk in, throw them down. But I know that's not how it goes. I know I have to clean up behind myself because my woman is very clean. I'm a very clean person too. But we're different when we live alone. You understand what I'm saying? But people aren't willing. It's a thing called compromise. And people aren't willing to compromise. We live in a selfish world. A lot of our children don't even know their cousins and aunties and family anymore. You know why? Because we so caught up in the rat race where we're working and we're only taking care of us. We don't even spend time with family anymore. You know what I'm saying? Then people be like, oh, well, cut the family off. They ain't no good. You know, it's so much now that's just pushed in being divided to where all this contributes to being in relationships and being with each other and being social. A lot of people are introverts, which nothing is wrong with them, but a lot of people are socially awkward. They never learned how to be social to where they work well with others. You can lie on that application and say you work well with others and all that to get that good job, and then scream that there aren't any good men or good women, but you can't cooperate well with others.
That ain't the whole point of this situation. Is if men are turning off their wallets, what are they turning it off for? Because women are getting more out of them and they're not getting what they feel they should be getting in return. So that's a communication problem, first off. If you know you're gonna be a trick ass nigga, just say I'm a trick ass nigga. Be like the Pickle Ricks of the world, the boss mans who want even exchange. Be like that. You do for
But
me, I do for you. We
I think that's one of the problems, Corey, right there. They don't. A woman don't want to seem like she tricking off a man. A man don't want to seem like he tricking off a woman. That's the problem right there. They're letting society, those words right there, tricking off when it should be pronounced a better way.
And just because you spend,
right?
I'm sorry,
If you say, yeah, if you have a friend guy or a friend girl or a friend lady friend Or, it should be, okay, yeah, I'm taking my lady friend out. I don't mind being there for my lady friend, or my male friend guy, my friend guy. You know what I mean? Like, because right now we're still in the dating stage. I don't know where we're going, but it's a part of what people are saying. A lot of people do that because even with women, if a woman goes out and say, for hypothetically speaking, she paid for a meal on the first date, or she paid for this, or she paid for that, she's going to be criticized behind that. She's not going to be able to tell her friends, or she's not going to want nobody to know, hey, I paid for the first date or this, because they're going to be like, well, damn, you paid for that dick. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. Oh, you bought that nigga. The only reason why he with you is because you bought him. You paid for him. You understand what I'm saying?
But you got them doing it behind closed doors, damn it.
Right. Because even Chaotic said it when he came up here. Chaotic said, "My wife paid for everything. Right, my wife paid for stuff in the beginning." Is that what he said?
You setting yourself
Is that
up.
what he said?
You setting yourself up for a big letdown
he
like
said
that.
it.
You know why? Look, you're setting yourself up for a big letdown. Okay, say if there is a man, they'll be like, I don't want relationships, but I don't mind spending money to get what I want. Okay, you just spent all this money. Now you get with her to cooch whack, or you didn't let this nigga spend all this money, and all that, and you let him hit it, and his mail meet little, or he bust fast. You could be setting yourself up in so many different ways. When I first met this woman, I took her and her friends out. We went to the bar. I broke out my business card. I was buying rounds. She was like, After I bought so many rounds, she's like, no, I got this. I was like, okay, cool. So it's just me and my woman, we go by who got the money. Me and my friends go by who got the money. We're not going to sit here and argue about money.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this. Okay, so when I told y'all about that experience where I met the guy, and we was just having a conversation, we was out and about on a date, and I asked him, I just said, hey, I said, if me and you, it was just, I just asked my question. I said, hey, I said, if we were, under the same roof together, we was living together. I said, who is supposed to pay the mortgage or the rent? He said, whoever got the money. And when he said that didn't sit well with me because
hell no.
He's not a provider.
Right. And you know what I mean? Like, and so when he said that, he said, whoever got the money. You just said you and your girlfriend y'all do things by whoever got the money, right, Omari?
In certain scenarios, like I'm going to pay this rent.
I'm
gonna pay this rent,
that doesn't make him not a provider, Corey. That just makes him not the man for diamonds.
When he said that, him not the man for diamonds.
Listen.
Yeah,
I want to hold on.
When he said that, I instantly was like, ooh.
Let me say this, Diamond. Last night,
Diamond, common sense is this.
Hold on, Omar. Hold on. Last night, I was out like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I stopped at this gas station, and I see this nigga and this female at this gas station with their bags. The responsibility relies on that nigga for that roof over their head. I don't care if it ain't no lights on. I don't care if it ain't no food in the refrigerator. Nigga, that's where a nigga responsibility is. That roof over their head. If you can't provide the roof over the motherfucking head, nigga, you useless.
Well, Corey, look, they love
You
strong.
are useless.
Corey, they love strong if they out there. Hold on, Dad. Listen. Wait, listen, Dad.
That's a man. That's a man.
Wait, Dad, Corey, listen. They love strong if they out there like that.
Because you
They
don't
have
even
men
know
are
their whole story. You don't know their whole story.
They got
You
kicked
just
out of
seen
that
a man and a
hotel
woman
across the
together.
street.
And hold on. You just seen them with bags. But you don't know if that man got a health issue where he can't even go to work. So if my husband, my boyfriend, we living in the same house and he can't make no money no more, I'm not gonna say, nigga, you ain't a provider. You gotta get the fuck out. I'm gonna get my ass to work so we can pay these bills. I'm not gonna say, oh, you're not a provider because you ain't pay these bills. Y'all be up here contradicting yourselves. I swear y'all be contradicting yourselves.
So Corey, listen to this.
I'm scared though what the hell I'm saying.
So Corey, listen to this. So we just sat up here and said that.
Fall off that truck and break your ankle, and you can't get up on that motherfucking drive no more. It's gonna be easy for me to say you ain't no goddamn provider no more, nigga, right?
Nigga, I can drive without these ankles.
Because you're not making no money, right?
I ain't gotta shift no gears. I can drive without this.
So here's the common sense.
I'm gonna find me a desk job, nigga. Fuck that.
But listen,
nigga,
Corey, here's the common sense.
First.
Listen to this, because we just spoke on something. So if you dating a woman that's a higher earner, right? Common sense, if you making $45,000 and this woman is making $80,000 and y'all live in a certain area and the rent is a certain amount, y'all are either going to go have, she's going to pay the rent, you go pay the other bills, or you going to pick up in other places. Because I'm going to be honest, sometime when you find your person that's meant for you, y'all not going to be in the same financial bracket. Certain things is not going to be equal. Now, if that's what you go out and you find and that's what's for you, cool. But this is what I'm saying. People aren't dealing with reality. And if you've seen them both with bags at the gas station, they love strong. More power to them. I can't do that. I have what's the name? I have dollar depression. When I don't have a certain amount of money, or if I don't have money, I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to lay down with you. I don't want to entertain you. I don't want to play with you. You know what I'm saying? My life that's just me. But everybody, a lot of these people weren't raised by people where they saw the man taking care of the woman. A lot of these people coming from single households where their mama held it down, and they don't. That's just not a trait that's in them. And if I could do it all over, listen, if I could do it, hold on, I'm gonna say this one thing and y'all can have it. If I could do it all over again, Diamond, I promise you, and it's no offense to none of us or anybody, but it's just me, this is Omar's personal preference. I would not date a woman who did not have a father in the home. Because I've noticed the women that I've dated that doesn't have fathers in the home,
you sound like Skywalker. See, you on your Skywalker.
No,
shit.
I'm
like
just
Skywalker.
this is my personal preference though. And this is what I've seen from my experience. And I'm not saying that there aren't good women or good men that come from single homes.
A woman
We have perfect examples. Look at LeBron James. Hold on, Corey. I said my personal preference. I said my personal preference because you lead by example. When I used to take my ass to that gas company every day, and I was working for the gas company. Listen, guess what my son said? Guess what my son said, Corey? Mary B.
Omar, you can't say that dumbass shit.
Wait, listen, Corey. Corey, let me finish though. You're not letting me make my point.
I can't let you
Hold
do
on,
that
Corey.
because you're knocking your own kids.
You're not letting me finish.
You're knocking your own kids.
No, Corey,
I'm not. Listen,
you
hold
gotta let
on.
him explain it.
Right.
Explain, Omar. Just let him explain it.
Let him finish.
Let him
Let
explain
him
what he said. Let him explain what he said.
Okay,
I want to hear this.
Okay,
Let me scoot up closer to the screen.
when I was working at the gas company, right? My sons would see me working at the gas company. They'd be like, Dad, I want to go to work with you. I want to work and do this. When I bought my trucks and became a business owner, my sons want to become business owners. We lead by example. So a lot of times when people don't have that example, a lot of these men do not know how to be a husband. A lot of these women do not know how to be a wife. A lot of these people do not know how to be in relationships because they never had that example.
Omar, you're not in your kid's house right now, so you're basically talking about your kids. You're not in your kid's house, so nobody should date your kids when they get older because their daddy's not in their house.
You get mad more than anybody up here.
I do not get mad. I laugh at your ass. I don't get mad.
I'm not done.
I don't get mad. Don't say that. I laugh and I find it funny. I don't get mad. But you are saying that your kid, you basically saying that your kids are worthy of being dated because they don't have a father in the house. You are in their life, but you're not in their house.
Where did Omar go?
I guess he dropped. What
I'm
saying is this: dating.
That's why I tried to stop him in the beginning because he's speaking of contradictory though.
Shut up.
That shit there is a contradictory because you not married to the woman you just had a kid with, Omar. Unless you married her, nobody knows. But that's a contradictory statement. Because we can be fathers in our kids' lives, but we're not in the household. So the statement you made saying
that's understandable though, Corey, but he never finished to explain so everybody can understand where he was going with it.
It don't matter about his statement started off with a contradiction.
Okay, so can I finish saying what I was saying?
No, because you just had your daughter sweet.
You just told me no, I can't finish.
It's not your story.
You ain't let me finish saying what I was saying. I said I would not date a woman who doesn't have a father. I didn't say that they have to be married. I didn't say they have to be in the house. They need a father figure in their life. I said my personal preference. Okay, that's one. Two, I am married. Like I said, I've said it before. Y'all don't know it. Everything ain't for everybody business unless I want to reveal that shit. That's the problem. Y'all think we're supposed to give everybody access to every part of our life. So what I'm saying is, you can still have male figures in your life to where you have an example of how they showing you how to treat a man, how that woman is showing you how to treat, how that man is showing you how to treat a lady. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is that's my personal preference for my experience in life. And you have to go off your own personal preference and what works for you in your life so you can live that good life and have that good relationship. You might go through a relationship or two that don't work to where you find what you're looking for. But to sit up here and we put everybody in one motherfucking box and say that they're supposed to live it the way that we say we should live it. That's why I said my personal preference. You have to do what works for you and what makes you happy. Because guess what? When you start doing what makes you happy, there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers who don't want to fuck with you no more. It's going to be a lot of people who don't even fit into your life anymore. They're going to automatically fall off.
Omar, you did say in the house. I'm just letting you know you did say in the house.
And you said 2-parent household, and you also said something else.
It's still a 2-parent household if you're not. It's still 2 parents if you're
wait,
not there.
Omar, let me talk now. You said you keep saying the same thing about being preferred over whether or not you look good or not in a relationship, and you got a real bad disdain for Jordans. So we gonna talk about this, me and you, Omar.
I like Gucci more than Jordans though.
I don't really care. I don't really care what you like. Okay, my thing is with you is, why do you have such a complex on whether you have a status or you don't in a relationship? Because you have a daughter and you're not in that house. So are you telling me that the man that gets with your daughter is going to have a problem with your daughter?
No, because I make sure I take my daughter and I show her what a real
You're not
man
in the
is.
house.
It
You're
don't
not in
matter.
the house.
Guess what, Chastity? Hold on. My daughter's here. I see my children every week, every other week, whenever we get together. And even when my daughter was in the house with me, when she was living with me, guess what? I would take time away from my other children and give her own personal time. We have to do that with our children, no matter if you're in a 2-parent home or not, because you're showing your child a certain amount of attention. That way they understand how to operate in this world and how people should treat them and how they should treat people.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Having a good dad or having a bad dad, is that a good thing or a bad thing to have in a child's life?
I don't know. It depends on what you consider a good dad, what that person consider a good dad or a bad dad is. A motherfucker might feel you a bad dad because you ain't buying something or you cut the PlayStation off because they're not doing well in school.
Okay, so having a loving dad and having an inconsistent dad, which one is more better for a child?
A loving dad, of course.
Okay, so he don't have to be in the house to be a loving dad. He don't have to be in the house to be considered as a dad with value either. He don't have to be in the house per se to do any of that things, because he can also just be her dad, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, to me that statement that you just made was cap, because most women that don't have dads cater to men more than women who do have dads. You want to know why? Because they're not going to look at you. They're going to look at their dad.
Okay, so
when they look for you,
hold on. Let me reply to Chastity real quick.
When they look for you, they look for their dads. Now, most of the time, the women that don't have dads in home cater to you more. They center men more than women that don't, they have a man in the household.
So what about
Fight me in the comments.
Okay, so hold on, man in class. Listen, so did you, out of everything that I said my preference.
Okay.
So y'all can't put that like I'm telling y'all all across the board. I made sure I said my preference. Y'all got stuck on one part when I said that if I dated again, myself, if I started all over, I would date somebody who made sure that they had their daddy. That's what I said. So I'm not putting that on nobody else. I said my preference. And what happens with, especially on TikTok, when someone is speaking for them, a lot of times we don't say my preference or me or whatever, and then we do what they say. Oh, you always centering. But you have to do what's best for you. That's what I said. I looked at a lot of things different. When I got a divorce, I started looking at things differently. I used to be one of the main motherfuckers up here fighting, ask Dab. I'd be like, how you gonna say you don't date men with kids and you got kids? But then when I got a divorce, I said, you know what? Nah, it gotta be a certain way if I date a woman who have children. Because I know I'm looking at how my teenagers act. I'm looking at certain things. So what I'm saying is it's your preference, what works for you in your life. Everybody thing isn't going to work for them. Like, honestly, we talk about Hink, we talk about different people, but look, they seem very happy in a relationship. It may not be the way we do it. He may say things that we may not feel is appropriate for their relationship, but they seem happy. It seems like it worked. His woman even got up here and defended him and said, hey, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? You might be like, hey, that ain't for me. But guess what? If it works for them and they're successful and they living, shit, who are we to judge? But I'm saying it's a lot of false reality that people live in because of social media. Relationship goals. Oh, get you a
I'm
man. You
just
got to
looking
make
at
six.
it like this.
We got to make
You
six
can have a
figures. Look, hold
dad.
on,
You can
Corey.
have
I'm
a
wrapping it
dad
up.
around.
Look, Corey, I'm wrapping it up. 6 figures is, bitch, if you don't go get you a nigga that work at waste management and that work for the school
Lord,
district and work
Omar,
for the
you
city,
stopped. You took a long ass pause.
I got to breathe. They told me to breathe sometime. Yeah, I'm saying if you don't go get you a person that's doing what they're supposed to do, that's adulting, you can go get a person that make all this money and they don't know how to adult correct. I look at it every day. It was some niggas right here. I said, look, bro, I can't hang with y'all. You don't know how to adult correct, and it's not my job to teach an adult how to adult. So that's the whole thing about it. People, you got to live in your own world, bro, and be truthful with yourself. If you know you, like Kevin Samuels told to do, you short, you fat, you got little male meat, and you don't even make $45,000 a year, who the fuck want to procreate with
The
you?
man who got caught in a hotel room with a woman that he wasn't supposed to be with because he said he didn't like large women. Are you talking about that man?
Yes,
Please
I
let's
am.
not talk about
Yes,
that man.
I am.
Again, that'll be somebody who contradicts himself.
A lot of people contradict
Can
themselves. Look at Cat Williams. Hold on. Look at
can I
Cat
talk?
Williams. It's the look. Like y'all tell me, it's not the message. It's the messenger. And every message that a person put out don't have to always be on point. We can take jewels from everyone. I take jewels from you, Chastity, when you get up here. There's some things you say I don't agree with, but I don't gotta berate you and attack you and tear you down. It's like, yeah, Chastity spitting. You know what? I don't agree with that. Fuck what she talking about. But guess what? A broken clock can be right once a day, twice a day, whatever that saying is. Like, you know what I mean? So
You can't use the saying if you don't understand what it means. This
so,
is the
so I
thing,
can't use it, but
Omar.
y'all let James say that shit. Nigga, I'm James today, nigga.
Hey, no, this is the thing, right? It's a lot of people that got dads that was in their life, but never treated their moms like to a point. So he only really probably treated his daughters and his sons a certain way. So that statement is kind of like a issue, because for a woman to be of certain type of standard and class, she's picking it up from the relationship that the dad had with the mom. So if you had a bad relationship with the mom, it was abusive and shit, your daughter might like expect some abuse. She might think that's okay. I mean, it's stronger on the mom to walk away from the abuse and to teach her daughter about the abuse. The daddy could still be in the daughter's life, though. He never abused the daughter. He never hit the daughter.
Wait right there, Corey.
Hold on.
No, hold it right there, Corey. No, I said me, Corey. Corey, I said me. Just because you grew up on the other side of the tracks, Corey.
Can I talk?
No, you can't, in the class. Corey, just because you grew up on the other side of the tracks,
Can I
Corey.
talk?
No, Omar,
Can I
you
talk?
spoke for a minute, bro. You
Can I
spoke for a minute, Omar. Let me touch on this shit. Having a daddy in your life as a child, and he's a good role model, responsible, I had to learn to show my kids that I can have a conversation with their mom. We can have a positive goddamn relationship. We can talk, even though we didn't work out. So that's part of it. Explaining what you explain don't necessarily explain all dynamics of it. You was talking long and you wasn't direct to the goddamn point. But the relationship where the marriage went wrong and shit like this, kids see that. Kids have traumas from that shit. The separations, the divorce, all that shit. So let's be realistic now, Omar, when you're talking on these points about women having daddies in the house or having daddies in their lives. It don't always necessarily turn out to be what you saying it to be.
Okay, so look, Corey. Look, Corey. Wait, let me ask this nigga this question.
I haven't talked yet. I haven't talked yet.
I know, hush. Just hush for a second.
Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I prefer a woman who has a positive male figure in their life. Because if you don't understand, if you've never had a positive male figure in your life, you don't know how to show them grace. You know how to connect with them. You're dating and you're living based on what your expectations are. And sometimes your expectations aren't even real. So to have a real person in front of you, I think that's what you have, a positive male figure in your life.
So look. All right. So it's a couple of you guys.
Can I ask you a question, Omar?
Hold on, Babs. You can't. But let me get this because it's on my mind. So it's a couple of you guys up here right now to say that you won't date seriously again. You make good money and you do what you do with women. So if you were to meet that woman that's for you, Corey, boss man, right? If you were to meet that woman that's perfect in every way for you, that fits, what your ideal woman is and just won your heart. Aren't you going to go ahead and settle down and do that because that's what your perception of a woman is, of a good woman for you is? That's what I just said. I said my preference. Y'all take it and then y'all like I got up here and said, all men should do this. All women should do this. I said, Omar, And that's why I made sure I put that out there clearly. And y'all still fighting that talking point where y'all trying to make it like I'm screaming this to the masses. I said me.
Oh my, you're not hearing. They don't care about that part.
Okay,
Say
let
me
me
all the
answer
time, and
that.
they
They don't care
still be
about that part,
telling me I'm
Omar.
gonna end up single when I say what I don't like.
But
They
let
don't
me
care.
ask you
You
some more,
understand? They don't
because
care about your personal preference.
I've been patient trying to see if you were gonna share it, but it's up to you. If you mind sharing, okay. What was the story that made you feel the way you feel? Because it has to be something that made you change, that you wish you could do it all over again. What
No,
was
I
it?
just said
You mind
I
sharing?
could. I just said I wish I could do it all over again. I said if I did. So I've noticed myself, right? So I come from a family like before I had children, I knew better than to have children by women and not marry them, right? So I mean, that was my life. That was what I did, and it's beautiful because I love my children. I won't change that. But I'm saying if I was to do it over again, I would I would do it differently. The woman who I'm with right now, the women who I've dated, who've had their father in their life or had a positive male figure in their life, a stepfather, or even a daddy that was there for them, right? It's been a whole different pattern, a whole different, just everything was totally different when I dated those women compared to the women who I dated. I'm talking about me. The women who I dated who didn't have a steady male figure in their life. So that's why I said I would do it different if I started over.
So I would agree with Chastity as being around, like, 'cause I was raised by my daddy, and a lot of women that I be around on TikTok that got their daddies, everything that Chastity said is 100%. Them is the one that's not letting you walk over. 'Cause they be like, my daddy didn't do that. My daddy didn't teach me that. But the ones who didn't have a daddy, yeah, y'all be running all over their asses. And now y'all so mad that these women got daddies, y'all out here talking about their daddies and simps and shit. Chastity, you remember the simp daddy?
Look at it like this.
But the
Like,
topic was that
oh, go ahead.
men are not men are trying to
Paying for me.
hold back their wallets because um I don't understand how that will work. If they're gonna hold back their wallets and not show a woman something because we don't want to sleep with you, but if we sleep with you, we is a hoe. Wait, let me make sense of this. So we sleep with you on the
Again,
first date, we is a hoe. But if we don't sleep with you on the first date, we're a gold digger. If we say we want to wait, that means we stalling you out and we gonna give it to the next man, which we probably ain't gonna do that. And then if we stall you out and you get it and we're not the woman that you want, we're still bad.
But,
So when you hold your wallet back, period, what are you actually doing?
but
Are
Chastity,
you
that's not
holding
what
your
I
wallet
heard.
back? Huh?
That's not what I heard from the statement. What I heard from the statement was women are saying, I'm not doing these wifely duties until I get married. So men are saying, I'm not paying for nothing until we get married. That's what I heard. That's what I heard in that clip.
Okay, so now you heard in this clip, I'm not paying for nothing. Like, I'm not buying her purses. I'm not buying her shoes. I'm not buying none of that stuff until we get married. Well, we can go on a date, but I'm not per se investing in this woman until we get married.
they
Okay,
even
that's the
said
point.
dates, Chastity. It wasn't just buying things, it was dates as well. They withholding their
No,
wallets.
They
Period.
gonna hold their
here's
body
the
too?
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Chastity. Like, it's a group of men out here. So I done heard that video, but I heard a whole conversation on Facebook. There's a group of men they're saying, like I said earlier, you got a group of men that's very combative and argumentative. So when they put out the app about we're gonna put men on Front Street, another dude came and put out an app. I'm gonna put one about y'all women. These men said, since you wanna be abstinent and hold out until marriage, I'm gonna stand on my wallet until marriage. You got a group of men saying, oh, I'm gonna do the opposite. If you gonna hold your cobbler back, we're gonna hold our wallet back. That's the conversation.
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here. I'm here.
I think those men should hold their wallet back because then they'll be able to save. Because most of those men that talk like that don't have any money anyway. So they need to sit back like 6 months and save that money, like put that money to the side, and then they'll be able to do it. That's like the man that shows up with you and want that done to done, and all he have all the time is $100. Well, if I wait for 6 months and don't give you that done to done, you should have $600 to give me the next time we do done to done. So I'm trying to figure out, if you holding back the money and I'm holding back this, I don't want to be with you anyways. Like, I don't want your money anyways if you're going to hold it. I don't even want to go on a date with you now.
But
And I
Chaz,
think I
is
should hold that back. I think I
but
should
Chaz,
hold back.
isn't sex an equal exchange?
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not an equal exchange, because what are you holding your money back for?
But okay, let's just take the sex out of it. Some stuff are just unrealistic. So then, what's the point of going on a date? Because somebody has to pay. Are
They
you?
said
Am I?
they
Am I?
not. Apparently, they they're not
Hold on.
going on dates. Apparently.
Hold on. Hold on. So if
How do
I
you date?
ask,
How do you
if I
not date?
right, so
You're
if
not
I
pay. How do you date?
initiate,
Not have pay. Not pay
if
for
I
it.
initiate
I
you
think they're
for a
taking
date,
dates where you don't spend no money, like going to the park. You can't have a date without money. It is possible.
right? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can walk out the park, have some good, decent conversation. That's fine. We can get to know each other that way. But from this topic, we just talking about spending money. That's where we're just gonna keep it at, right, boss man? They just keep it at spending money. So what's the point of stepping out with the women and not putting out of your wallet and just to pay for something? That's unrealistic. So what's the point of asking her out for a date?
Because
You get to know her.
hopefully they gonna stop asking them out for date and go hang with the people they want to hang with. The ones that they ain't got to spend no money on are they homeboys.
They
I'm
probably trying to
telling
they're probably trying to get with her on an intellectual level. They probably just want to have astounding conversations. I'm just throwing it out there. That's all I'm doing.
My best date ever was playing
But
Uno.
even with wifey duties, what is wife? Somebody in the comments says y'all keep trying to make it about cobbler when it's about wifey duties. What are wifey duties?
Man of
I
Honor
need
was
because y'all be.
come down.
The
Yeah,
video,
What
the,
is
vi- the first
wifey
video
duties?
came out. But see, Dad, remember the first video?
No,
The first video said, "Did you make me your wife? Did you make me a plate?" And she was like, "Did you make me a plate? Make me your wife?" And that's where that came from. Was that statement? So men start saying, "If you're not me, act like a wife. Why am I paying for stuff?"
But
You just
we
said the
gotta
first.
be a little.
but see,
Wait,
hold
man of
on,
Honor
hold on,
said.
Chastity, hold on. Do y'all remember yesterday the conversation we had?
Yeah,
I just want to know.
I remember.
Okay, go
I
No,
ahead,
know
I
what you're
Chastity.
talking
wasn't
about.
here.
Okay,
I
I
wasn't
want to
here.
hear what man of Honor was about to say, because he said the best day ever was what kind of date you went on?
Oh, we played Uno and we played we did Twister. But we were drinking, but we had a great time just playing, just chilling out, having a good time. The best date ever I've
Marry
had.
her?
Did I marry her? No, she did. I wasn't her type.
Oh, okay.
What's not her type? Damn, what's not her type? Damn, what, you were 50-50 or something? Hold on. Let's touch on that. Man, the class, what you mean not her type? How she
What
hit you
was
with
her
the
type?
flim?
Why wasn't her type?
Yeah, what?
I can't answer for her.
Oh, shit, she just did you like that. He not my type.
That's
Ghost
part
you.
of date. But listen, when you date somebody, whatever vision they have for themselves, that's what it is.
But see, my point about that, my type
I'm not for
shit, is
everybody. You're not for everybody,
this something
right?
superficial though? Is it to the point where
I,
a man saying, well, I believe a woman should, also pay half of the bills, 50-50 type situation, even though we know it's never a 50-50 situation? Is that part of it? Like, that's what I'm
I,
saying. That's why
I,
I'm
I
asking that
we
question.
never. We,
I
I,
want to
well,
hear that.
I
Man of
can't.
Honor, I liked what you said. You said you play Uno and card games, right? How many
Yeah.
more dates did y'all go on after that?
Um, a couple more days after that. A couple more days.
What did y'all
We
do on
did
the
like
next one?
a picnic.
Okay.
Oh, she found you cheap. She said
Oh,
this nigga too cheap. He want to
No,
do the simple shit.
no, that wasn't it. We did some expensive dates.
Yeah,
I
no, nigga. She say this nigga ain't taking me to Ruth Chris, Benny Hunter, and all
well,
that other
well,
little
if that's listen, if
expensive
this that's
ass
what you
shit.
believe, and that's fine. I mean, that's fine, but that wasn't the case. But it's cool. I mean, that's not how it is. I'm telling you how the best date I ever had. I felt connected with her. That's all.
You
yeah.
felt the connection with her, but she didn't feel one with you.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
I done had fun days. Two fun days I had. I took a woman fishing, and then I cooked the fish right there on the spot and fed it to her. And I had like fruit,
Right
cut
there.
fruits and everything.
Oh,
And
that's
then I
cheesy.
cooked.
That's
Right
cheesy.
there.
I
I
like that.
played
That's
some
cheesy.
music.
That's
I
fun. That's
played
fun.
some music while she was eating. I played music and everything. And then one day I took one. We went out to the paintball war. That was fun. And, went to a paintball war. That was pretty fun. And I took a woman mud bogging before. That was fun too. I like to have
Zip,
fun.
I like zip lining. I like people on the beach. That's fun too. Horseback riding is fun for me.
So
Middle class,
all
middle
these
class. You
nice shit.
never
Hold
told
on,
me.
damn, be submissive. You don't hear man talking right.
I was talking. Boy, we was talking at the same time. The fuck?
All right, you gotta be submissive. You gotta let the man go
Submitting
first.
shit. No, I don't.
Hold on, man. I'm trying to touch on these submissive. I'm trying to touch on these simple romantic dates that these men are taking women on, and it ain't really panning out to be
Okay,
nothing.
and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is these wifey duties that they be asking about.
Just simple shit like fix your man a plate, cook for him, come fold some clothes, that hink type shit. No, not to put hink in this, but y'all know what the fuck I'm talking
So
about.
Corey, is that not human decency? If I have a guest over my house, and a woman or a man, am I not fixing their plate when they come to my house?
Oh nah, you gotta fix their plate first. And it's a difference, man. You doing shit on another level for them compared to what you'll do for somebody else. It's a difference, not that. Don't act like you don't know.
No, I don't know because I don't operate in
So,
wifey
Dab,
duties.
let me have this
Treat it
conversation
like
with you.
everybody else.
I don't
Dab,
operate in wifey duties.
Dab, let me ask you a question. So having a baby ain't a wifely duty?
Ooh, ouch. You know what?
No, don't run now. No,
I ain't running.
don't
No,
run.
I know. I got
no.
hit in the chest. I know. Listen. I got hit in the chest. I'm not running
Okay.
at all.
I'm just
That's a
saying.
baby mama duty.
Dab,
That's a
is
baby
having
mama
a
duty.
baby a wifely duty? Can I ask you that?
Say
That's a
again.
baby mama duty.
Okay, so that's not a wifely duty having a baby?
Oh, definitely it is. Definitely
That's
is.
Okay.
a baby
Okay.
mama duty.
See, that's what I'm talking about, how slimy and nasty Corey is. That's the reason why I don't have conversations with children, because that's what he is. He's a big kid. He don't know the difference
Cause I say
between
that.
what a wifely duty is because he's never been a wife. That's the problem with Corey, is that he want to be a woman, and I keep trying to tell him, stand up and be a man.
Only wives
Stand
having
up and be a
babies.
man. Stand up and
So
be a
only
man.
so only wives having babies out here. Okay.
That's who's supposed to have the baby. That's who's
Says
supposed
who?
to have it.
Says who? Concubines had babies back in the day.
If that's
They
what
don't
you
know what the
wanted it
hell
to
you
be.
talking
And
about.
notice that she was called concubine.
But she had a baby, and you just applied it to wives and wives only.
Corey, please quick report my page, okay?
I'm cooking, so I don't know how I can report your page when I just walked in the door from the grocery store. What the fuck? So how can I do
So
that?
again, so what else is these wifey duties? Fixing a plate first, and what else? Because in my house, again, I'm gonna say like Omar said, for me, in the house that I grew up in, the kids ate first, and then my daddy fixed his plate, and his woman fixed his plate and her plate, but we sat down and ate first. So what are these? I need y'all to clarify some more wifey duties, because I would think caring for you, as y'all say, respecting you, loving you. I think all of that would be wifey duties, but I guess that shit don't matter. Because if I ain't washing the dishes, then I don't love you.
Hold on, wait 1 second.
But that-
Chastity, you gotta go down for 10 minutes and come back in 10 minutes per TikTok. All right, go ahead, y'all.
So Dab, that's what the video said. I like to cook, so that's not a personal statement for me. But the video, you remember when they said, you remember the video, the clip was going saying, "Can you make me a plate?" And she would say, "Did you marry me yet?" And that's what that video stemmed from. Now I can't take with the right. I think you have to find what fits for you in your own relationship. Hello.
Do
I
any of you
agree.
guys?
I agree, but I think it's crazy when they try to put that on everybody.
Do
You're
any of you
proving a
guys
lot of my
have?
points just by asking that. Just by, you got to get up in the box and have a conversation. I ain't about to be reading all this shit. What you say, Omar?
Do any of you guys have platonic relationships with the opposite gender? Because for some reason, it always seemed to be centered around money and cooch, right? Whereas it's like, what happened to actually meeting people, because sometimes you don't have to date everybody that you like. Some things are meant to become a friendship. Like I have a lot of women friends,
Yes,
right?
Corey, Omar, my male best friend is like that. We started off liking each other, and we was like, it don't work, and now we best friends.
Right, and then
So
like
y'all, hold on 1 second. So Omari, is it fair to say that most of us was taught, and that's all we've seen that mattered to y'all, really honestly, was the coochie. And a lot of y'all knew that, okay, women need money to pay their bills, take care of their kids, do things that they need to do. It's like a trade-off. That's all we've seen.
no, I was taught that right there. What you just described as prostitution, a trade-off
But
for
see,
money.
that's the thing. But hold on, wait. But that's the thing, though. Hear me out. So, all right. Let me say it this way. I'm 49. A lot of our generation, and I'm talking about our generation, there were men. Even men came up here. Men would say, what you have between your legs, you should never be broke. I've always heard that. What you have between your legs, you should never be broke, right? I'm just telling you like what a majority of people were taught. What you have between your legs, you should never be broke. And that was mainly, I've heard that more from men than women. And I'm talking about grown men that, men that know this, what you have between your legs, you should never be broke.
So Diamond, L7s are giving pimp advice. L7s are trying to give pimp advice. Do they know that a pimp will sell himself
But that's not,
when he ain't got no more
wait.
hoes?
But hold on, wait.
Your dad didn't say that. Your dad didn't say that. What did your dad say?
Your dad would
What's
say
your
that.
father
Your father would tell you that, right? Because here's my thing. What they're basically
Your father would
saying,
say that?
right? It's not saying, hold on. They're not saying go sell your body. That's not what the fuck they saying. They're not saying go selling their
They
body.
saying
That's what
barter with
y'all
the
trying
coochie.
to.
They saying barter with your
Hold
coochie.
on. No. Hold on. That's not what they're saying. That's what a lot of y'all men are putting in these women's head, because a lot of y'all don't have shit to offer no way. But neither here nor there. Let me say this. That's not what they're saying. Basically, they're saying if you have a man around you, right? If you have a man around you and he's in your presence, majority of the time, those women are sleeping with those men. Those y'all doing whatever y'all are doing, and here it is. You can't get nothing from him. You can't get if you need something from him. You can't get shit financially. There are men to come up in here and say it like, damn man, you been hell a man.
I get what you're saying, Diamond. I get what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is, hold on. So what I'm saying is, when a woman not asking y'all for shit, and she's letting y'all have y'all way with her, y'all tell her she's dumb and stupid. Y'all tell her that she chose the wrong man. Y'all tell her, well, that's your fault because you're not getting nothing out of that man. That's your fault that you, hold on, wait, no, let me finish. That's your fault that you don't. So you know what these women went out and did? They went out and started making their own fucking money, right? They started making their own fucking money because they got tired of a lot of men saying no. No, you're not getting this. No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. Knowing damn well the clock's still ticking. The world's still revolving. We still got to do what the fuck we got to do for these kids and everything else and ourselves and pay these bills. So hear me out. This how y'all get these out. This how y'all got these independent women that y'all don't like. That y'all created. Now. So I'm going to say this. Hear me out. When a woman ain't asking y'all for shit, she is the problem. But when she's asking y'all for something, she's still a fucking problem. If she laying down with y'all, and as long as she's letting y'all do whatever she wants, y'all, whatever y'all want to do with her and how y'all want to do it, everything is A-O motherfucking K. But the minute she say, I need something financially, oh, so now you a prostitute. Oh, so now you laying down with me because, oh, so you been knew this before you laid down with me. Oh, you this and you that and you this and you that. I mean, like, what the fuck? Your father. There's a lot of fathers that don't even want their wife, they daughters, I meant to say. There's a lot of fathers don't even want their daughters to be with broke ass niggas. Because guess what? Guess what's gonna happen? A lot of y'all parents is gonna have to take care of you and that nigga.
So
When she
Diamond,
go to her daddy, when she go to her daddy and say, Daddy, I need, guess what's gonna happen? That nigga still over there in the house with her. So he gotta see about him and her. Basically, you making it easy for his ass. He ain't gotta do shit when she could just go to her daddy and ask her daddy for every motherfucking thing. So y'all need to make up y'all mind on what y'all want from these women. Because then y'all feel like if a woman has her own money and then she's taking care of herself and paying all the bills, she's too motherfucking masculine. But yet y'all tell these women that you're not my responsibility. Them your bills.
so Diamond.
But then when they
Oh, I'm sorry.
laying down with y'all, on y'all back on their backs, and they come to TikTok and ask for $2, the first thing y'all say, shit, where your man at? That's the first thing y'all say. Where your man at? Right or wrong?
So Diamond, those are the men that y'all choosing. Nigga,
And
you
I
have to
just
ask.
said
Hold on,
that's
listen,
what
Diamond,
y'all
listen.
just said. Didn't I just say that's
Wait,
what y'all
Diamond,
said?
but Diamond, you got to
Diamond.
hold on,
You said
Dab.
it.
Hold
You
on,
didn't even
Dab.
let you
Dab,
finish, Diamond.
hold on.
Not
So
even,
this is what
not
I gotta
even
say about
close.
that.
He
This is
was
what I gotta
waiting to
say about
jump
that.
in and
I
say
gotta hold on,
something.
Chaotic. Diamond, look,
Hey,
Diamond.
that's not
Listen,
what I
Chaotic.
say, because I tell
Boss
you
man,
right
hold
now.
on, listen. So Diamond.
But you've been doing
And
what you've
boss
Omar,
been
you've
man,
been
doing.
please,
talking the
listen,
whole
listen,
time.
listen.
Let
Just let
boss
me get
man
home
go.
on
Let
this
other people
shit.
talk. God damn.
Diamond, you have to ask. Y'all hanging around niggas that you have to ask. That's your fault that y'all picking them kind of men. Because a real man, you ain't got to ask for shit. We go see where you're
And
lacking. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
and
We
9 times
recognize
out of
that
10,
shit. These are the
and 9
men.
times out of 10,
Nah, these the men
y'all
y'all
need to
choosing.
tell these women, and 9 times out of 10, y'all need to tell these women that it's more little boys out there than it is men.
I ain't got to tell you nothing.
Y'all
That's who
need
you
to
choosing.
tell
That's
Your nigga,
exactly what needs to happen, Diamond.
picker is off.
Y'all need to be
Your
honest
nigga
with
picker
them.
is off if you picking a man where you gotta ask. My woman don't have to ask for nothing.
Y'all gotta be honest with these women. It's a lot of men out here will tell you.
Diamond, most of these
Close
women
mouth.
getting fucked
Hold
with their coat
on.
on.
We can't hear Diamond, Omar.
Okay, I'm sorry, Diamond. I'm sorry.
Omari, it's a lot of women. It's a lot of men. A lot of men have told women, closed mouths don't get fed. So that
Yes,
means
sir.
you gotta ask where the saying came from. Closed mouths don't get fed. So what the fuck we supposed to do? Ask or what? We supposed to ask.
Diamond, and they get up here every day and say
No,
say men and women don't come. Hold on, Kelsey. They get up here every day. Hold on, Kelsey. Diamond, they get up here every day
closed
and say
mouth is the fetus.
they get up here every day and say we communicate different, so you gotta tell us what you want, because we as men and you as women, and we don't communicate the same. So you gotta tell us what you want. Now it's a problem that they asking, Omar. Y'all call me the fucking
It's not a
man
problem
eater
that they're
every day.
asking.
Y'all call me a man
See how you try to
eater.
flip my
And
shit,
that was
Dab, and you know me. You my nigga. How you gonna try to flip my shit and you my nigga, Dab? I said
It's
that you are
two
hanging.
different
I
categories
said
of
you
men
have to
y'all are
ask.
You
talking
did
about.
exactly what Diamond said you was gonna do. You did exactly what she said
No,
we
I
ain't gonna do
didn't.
before
No, I
she could
didn't.
even. Yes,
Go
you
ahead. I'm gonna let you
did.
finish. Let me know when I can talk. I got y'all.
It's two different categories of men that y'all talking about, and Diamond is right. There's real men up here that will tell you that closed mouths don't get fed. That is right. And secondly, don't open your legs to somebody who ain't paying for it. But the person who's having that conversation with you is your friend, right? In my friend group, you're not gonna have to ask for me to assist you or do whatever. But also, I married my best friend at the same time. there's a lot of people who are out here and you're just meeting somebody and expecting something to happen when it shouldn't happen. And then those men will take advantage of the fact that you sit on social media and tell them everything you need in a man, and he'll come to you and lie to you about it just to get it from you. The right man is not playing those types of games.
Chaotic, do you remember that day? Chaotic, do you remember that day where you told Chaotic? You remember that day where you said your daughter ain't gotta ask these niggas for a fuck thing?
Damn right.
They got you. What did the men tell you? What did these men up here tell you? That you was tripping for raising your daughters that way.
Correct.
What they need a man? What a man gonna need her for if she don't need him? Did they
Correct.
not tell you that as a father?
Correct. And that's when I told y'all there's a different fact of need, right? My kids don't need y'all for the necessities of their life. If they can survive in this world on their own, if they decide to be with you, it's because they like you and they want to be with you in a different aspect of life. That's a different type of need.
You know what? The reason I said you got to ask, because a man know what he's supposed to do, right? Because if you got, it's like this. A nigga ain't got to give you nothing, because there's some bitches right now that's getting fucked with their jacket on. You ain't got to. They don't even take all their clothes off and they getting fucked. So if you around a man to where you have to ask for anything, he ain't the one. Unless y'all have already talked, and it's some material shit where he explained that he's not on that level financially. See, people get needs and wants confused, and a lot of people are judging these relationships based on materialism, not on real necessities. Take your ass to Taco Bell right now, $50. Take your ass to the hamburger stand, $30 for 2 hamburger specials. Nigga, I cook a whole bomb-ass dinner and have leftovers for that shit. People are living beyond their means, and they're judging relationships purely off of them providing coochie is what they is the main course, is what they offer in a relationship, the main tangible thing they bring to the table, and they motherfucking dollars. When in reality, it takes way more than that to be with a person. You're gonna find that that's just the bonus. That's the cherry on top. If you can make each other have them big O's and you can satisfy each other intimately. It's other things. It's mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Be there for me, motherfucking moral. I love moral support. I be telling my friends when I'm clean, y'all was talking shit because I had shit all over the yard. I said, nigga, just sit here while I clean this motherfucker up.
So it's not the cherry on the top, it's the relationship itself. Because you don't need and that's you're right when you said the definition of need, right? My children can function on their own. They don't need nothing from another individual, period. End of story. If you come into their life, you are an addition, and you are there for support. You are there for emotional support, all those different things. And the cobbler, as y'all say, or whatever, for my daughters. It has nothing to do with her having to say, well, you're not going to be in my life if you ain't going to help me pay my light bill. Because she can pay her own fucking light bill. And if she can't, daddy got it. Period. So if you enter in her life, you got to bring something more than your wallet and a pretty fucking face, because my kids ain't playing that game with you.
You know, what I loved about growing up.
Hold on,
So do you believe
earlier I
do you believe a man should move in with your daughter, Chaotic?
Let me tell you about a man moving in with my daughter. If you move in the house with my daughter and my daughter come and ask me for one damn thing, I'm taking you out of her house.
No, you ain't. You
Oh,
say
you want to make a
good.
bed?
Hold on, how you gonna wait?
No, you ain't. She
How
grown.
you gonna take her? Wait, how you gonna take him out the house when you said anything your daughter needs, they got a daddy? Hold on. And also you said you raised your daughters to be independent. You raised your daughters to go out there and do everything on their own. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to still get them someone, and they're still going to be what their daddy taught them to be.
You're right. If they come
to you and they got a man over there, why you going to stop now?
No, what I'm saying is they come to me and they got a man over there and it's about a necessity. That's when it'll be a problem for me. Not just answering his question. I don't expect that to happen with my children. But if they come to me about a necessity and there's a grown-ass man over there, me and that grown-ass man got a problem.
If they come to you and say, Daddy, for example, Daddy, can somebody mute up? I think that's okay. If they come to you, just hypothetically speaking, Chaotic, they come to you, they got a man over there. Dad, we've been going through some tough times. Such and such money isn't right. Daddy, can you help me with the just say hypothetically speaking, Daddy, can you help me with the mortgage for the next few months? What you gonna do?
me and that man gonna have a sit down and we're gonna talk about finances and why he can't afford to do what he's supposed to do now. And then I'm gonna go to my daughter and say, how did you get in this situation? Because I didn't teach you to get in that situation. You must be spending over your means in some way, shape, or form, because that should not come and that should not be. So
Okay.
like I
All
said,
right.
me
So
and
y'all,
that me
okay, y'all gonna
me
have that talk, but you still gonna come out your pocket, right?
because I'm not gonna have my daughter in the street if it's in her
I am
name.
Diamond. I am Diamond. I'm gonna take
Okay.
care of her and
So
that
that's
nigga.
what okay then. So
I
here
am
my
also.
thing.
I'm a.
I'm gonna
So
take care of
y'all
her
still
and that
Can
gonna
I
nigga.
come
hear
all
Diamond?
right.
Y'all
I'm
just
pay
Hear
that
me out.
let me
Okay,
finish.
wait. So y'all still gonna come out y'all pocket and help whether y'all give these long
You damn
talks
right.
or
It's your
have
daughter.
Can I
these long
hear her?
ceremonies. Hold on. So hear me out. So when y'all coming out y'all pockets to talk, right? When y'all coming out y'all pockets to talk, I'm just telling y'all, by most women having a father they can go to for everything, and they're gonna not they're not gonna choose a man that is supposed to handle everything and do it all. That man is supposed to be able to say, you don't need to go to your dad. I am here. I am a man, and I'm supposed to take care of you. You shouldn't have to go to your dad. If something was to happen, he's supposed to be a man and pick up those problems. I wouldn't give a
What does that
fuck
have
who
to do
got to
with her
figure it
daddy?
out. He's
But what does
supposed
that
to
have?
figure
What
it
does
Wait.
out.
Hold on for a second. Let's
And they
let's
gonna have
listen.
an eviction notice in the
He's
I
foreclosure
will
on
supposed to
their
lecture.
figure it
door.
out as a
I will
man,
lecture. I will lecture my. I'm going to pay for my daughter, but she's gonna have structure. We have a long conversation. Before she comes to me, she's like, you know what? Before I do this, just know he gonna have a lot to say. I'm still gonna pay it. But my daughter,
I don't.
she's gonna say he's electric. He talks a lot.
I don't
And
think that changes anything with chaotic raising his daughters that way because my daddy raised me the same way. But nigga, that don't mean when you move in with me, you're not gonna pay shit. Just because I
no,
can call
it
my
ain't about
fucking
you can
daddy
pay
and ask
patience.
him for
Daddy said
it.
whole
Hold
time.
on. Just because I can call my daddy and he gonna come over here and provide, don't mean I have to, and don't mean you're not gonna live up in my house and not pay no motherfucking bill.
Oh, if I
So
just
him
say
raising his daughter to
So
oh.
be
we raise
independent and
expectations
make and have it on her own does
and
not
have
mean
standards.
that a
Okay, let's
nigga can
talk.
come and live in
Hold
my
on.
house.
And
Let
this
me
is
talk.
Oh my
precisely
God, y'all
Come
why.
here
talk
real
over
quick.
people so bad. I
Chaotic, let
didn't
me
even
talk to
hear
you
what
real quick. Let's have
Dad
daddy
said.
talk. Let's have daddy talk. Let's have a motherfucking daddy talk because we got kids now. Okay, so if your daughter or my daughter, if she's dating a man and he don't make all the money in the world, but he has a good job, he got benefits, he's doing what he do, and they ain't got to be going through nothing. Now, say the rent is high out here in California, they be bumping the rent up 3% every whenever they want to, damn near. So guess what I'm gonna do? I got the bread. I'm gonna come and drop that motherfucking money on that motherfucking house, and knowing that they could pay their mortgage over a motherfucking rent and help them. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Y'all conflate everything into one thing. And if a motherfucker going through shit, you know what I'm
Y'all,
saying?
no. Y'all hear me? Wait. Y'all see Hank in the comments? Hank said that's disrespectful as a man that my girl calls her dad for help.
Well, Hink rich. Hink is very rich. Hink is very
That's
rich.
No,
exactly
No,
what
it
I'm
ain't
getting
even
at,
about
Diamond.
Hink
being
is very
rich.
rich.
That's
Oh,
what I'm getting at, Diamond.
No. Here's my
y'all
thing.
is tripping.
He don't listen. He don't have to be rich. That don't have to come from a rich man's mouth. That don't have to. Why y'all gotta say he's rich? He's basically telling y'all I have to be a man. She's
So
my
he gonna put the nigga out?
responsibility, and I have to handle my business and figure that shit out. That's what he's
Diamond, let me
saying.
tell
Because
you
if
something.
my daughter has to
These
come to
niggas is
me
lying,
that
Diamond.
says
Look.
something about the man that's in there, and he's going to make sure he's going to do everything he can before she calls me. If she finally
Exactly.
calls me, then that's a problem, and they got one shot for me to remedy it, and then tell me how they're not going to get back in that position again.
But y'all can't get rid of the
That
nigga.
I'm gonna tell
man,
you
that
Look,
something.
man,
Diamond,
that's
Diamond.
that
I'm gonna
man
tell you
that's in
something.
there.
For me, I'm gonna tell you something. For me, I never was like that. But if I ever have to go to my parents or my dad or even a friend girl, now mind you, or even a bestie friend or whatever the case may be, I am going to feel embarrassed.
Right.
I'm going to feel embarrassed in everything. I'm going to feel like
But you're supposed to
you
be
understand what I'm
embarrassed.
But
saying? Like
Diamond,
I'm
these
going.
Supposed to be.
I'm sorry. These men are living in delusional land. You know why? Because just right now, if you get a divorce or you got a baby mama and y'all ain't together no more, and she go get a new nigga, guess who running that house? That new motherfucking nigga. I don't care how y'all talk about my baby ain't gonna be around this and this, that. If your daughter go get a man, you ain't running that shit. So for y'all to talk about, oh, I'm gonna go put the nigga out. No, the fuck you ain't. Deal with motherfuckers. Be real with yourself. If she chose a certain guy and they go through certain shit, you know what I mean? You either help or you don't. It ain't that deep. But like I
Now,
said,
Sweet Mama said, wait, Sweet Mama said in the comments, that man should go to his parents for help, not the wife.
it's probably pro her. Shit. These niggas' mamas ain't got
Diamond
So
shit.
said
can
to
I
K.
can I
Audie,
answer Omar real
Diamond
quick?
didn't. Hold on, Diamond didn't say that man couldn't. He fell on hard times or something like that. She said your daughter gonna get with a nigga that ain't gonna do shit because her daddy do shit. Her daddy do everything, and just because my daddy, I know I can go to my daddy, does not mean I'm gonna fuck with a nigga that can't do shit for me.
Thank you.
And I think that's y'all equating the shit.
I look at it
And
like this,
it's honestly, it's a lot of daddy's girls like that. A
So
lot of
can I
daddy's girls are like
can I
that.
get 30 seconds, y'all? My
let me say this
daughters.
right quick, K.I.
Go ahead, boss.
I want to say this right quick. See, a lot of times people get up here talking about what you gonna do. When that child grown, ain't nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is rant. Because at the end of the day, take your behind over there and take care of your baby and just rant. Sooner or later, the word's gonna soak in. Just go over there, pay whatever bill, and be like, I'm coming over here paying this goddamn bill. You got this so soft knuckle head in here. Goddamn, go ahead and pay the bill. The word's gonna soak in sooner or later. And then sooner or later, she gonna get tired and kick him out. But ain't nothing you can do about it.
And boss man, that's because you raised your child. When you raise your children, it's different. When children grow up, see, a lot of motherfuckers wasn't raised, they grew up. See, when you raised, you gonna be with a fucked up nigga or fucked up woman for so long. It may take you 15 years sometime, but you go shake that shit because you were raised and you fucking know better. You're choosing to struggle and live by the bullshit. That's the
Here's
And then
here's
when
difference.
y'all get
here's what y'all missing.
also too, when y'all get with them daddy's girls, the minute y'all disappoint them or make them feel some type of way, they're gonna say, I don't need you. I can call my daddy.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Y'all, the aspect y'all missing is the fact that when it gets to the point to where my daughter feels like it's a complete utter failure and it's a problem, they know they can come back to daddy's house. They know they can. Their room is still the way they left it, and they got somewhere to go. And what happens is all these dire straits where I'm gonna go sell this and do that comes because they can't go home and they got nowhere to go. My girls got someplace to go at all times. This home is in their name, not mine.
Thank
Right?
you, Lord Jesus.
So
Yeah,
when we
that's
take care of our children, we fully take care of our children.
Amen.
My assets are signed over to my children. They don't need nothing from none of y'all. If they with you because they feel like being with you. The minute Boo Boo hits the fan and she calls me, they understand. If you call daddy, that's emergency cases, and I'm coming to move you out, or I'm coming to remedy the situation. And there is no, well, what you gonna do about it? My daughters are not raised to where they're calling me because they feel like they still need him. They're calling me because they're done, and I'm coming to get them.
And
But
K.I.
let me
make
jump
sure they
in.
sign a prenup when they find that husband.
You sound like good parents.
So
Hold
boss
on,
man, the
y'all sound
trust
like
I
good
have,
parents.
You're supposed to,
the
Omar.
spouses are not in my trust.
All of
Let
y'all
me
sound like
let
good
me
parents. I give you that. That's the
You're
purpose of
supposed
raising.
to.
See, that's why you raise your children to be independent, to where they don't. You raise them to be independent individuals, to where they function in this world. See, but what happens is especially with our daughters, we teach them to be independent. You don't need no man. No, you don't need nobody. Anything else, it's a extra. It's a little extra to you. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why when it comes to raising your children, you got to look at the reality of what it is. Because once your son get that good cooch, or your daughter get that good meal meat, ain't nothing nobody can tell their ass unless they just really got a good head on their shoulders, in which we hope that we raise them to be that way. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at how hard-headed you was, because a lot of the times we trying to parent us out of our kids. So you got to look at the kind of person you are, and then you got to look at who their mom is or who their dad is. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you,
Because
Omar.
and I'm just being real with it, because I have friends who don't have the best jobs in the world, and they picked that one girl from the neighborhood that nobody could get. And guess what? They daddy came right along, and they told me, it was like, man, Omar, and he a hard ass. Like how we talking about, he a hard ass. He don't give up shit. He be on your bumper and all that. But he was like, man, Omar, we don't got a one for nothing. He come through and help us. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we need something, or if we think we need something. You know why? Because he sees that she has a good man. They both working, and they thriving together happily. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than what we see sometimes ourselves. We got to take ourselves out of it. You know what I'm saying? And really look at things for what they are. But that's why I said it's more than a woman offering me her cooch and me offering her my pocketbook.
Damn,
You know,
Omar, when
because
you gonna
And that's
stop
why
saying?
I
Well,
said I have the
hold on.
conversation first because I
Oh
want to hear
Jesus.
you tell me and I want you to show me that it wasn't I decided to go get a Gucci bag, now I can't pay my rent. If y'all both working hard and y'all doing y'all thing and it's just y'all 40, 50 short or whatever, I got y'all both. I'm good. And I'll pay it and I'll walk away. But if I
But
find
see,
out you out here, wasting money because you want to go pop bottles and shit, and now we can't y'all can't afford what y'all need, now we got a problem.
now let me say this, right? Because chaotic, you just said everything is left to your kids. So if you got multiple homes and each of them gonna get a home, just as Omar just said, if they meet one of them dudes with the male meat, and this dude that homosexual type, and he know how to put it down, your kids are got. Because I guarantee you that nigga ain't gonna work a day in his life. He gonna manipulate the fuck out of him to say, your daddy already did it for us. Let's just live here in blissful happiness. Y'all don't understand what goes on sometimes. Sometimes I believe all y'all in a goddamn bubble out here in this goddamn world. And it's just hardening. When the niggas sit here and say a man should be the first line of providing, it ain't what they daddy provided. It's what that nigga provide. I don't care if you had that house there waiting. If that house there waiting is paid off and everything, that nigga should make sure the lights, water, gas, food, everything else is provided in that house. And if he ain't doing that with a woman, why the fuck is she fucking on him? See, but you done lined your daughter up to still, she gonna take your money and spend it. Whatever she getting in residuals, whatever, how you set it up, whatever she getting, she gonna take your shit and spend it on him. And that shit gonna be the fucked up part of it. And you ain't gonna understand because you may not even be here to see it.
I don't think you fully understand.
That
Traditionally, don't the wife's family pay majority of the wedding costs? Right? I mean,
Yes.
traditionally.
they're supposed to.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, now is it seem like you know what I mean? You getting over on the daddy from the beginning? It takes understanding, and this is why we teach our kids in the streets. We call it vibes. In the church, they call it discernment. And in the real world, we teach motherfuckers to judge your character and pay close attention to where you ain't getting fucked over. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these men aren't out here trying to get over on women. I mean, unless it depends where you live. I see that too. I see a lot of lazy niggas, but I can't associate with them. And I live in the capital where niggas be poor as a motherfucker, but be fresher than everybody on TikTok and the celebrities. You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal.
You don't see no poopies pulling up in the Altima picking up their girl from work.
You deal with the reality. You deal with the reality of just who a person picks when they grown. All you can do is just try to parent them and guide them in the right direction so they don't pick where they know not to pick a nigga who ain't about shit. Because like I say, once they grown, you can't control them. I got teenagers right now. I just had to stop arguing with them. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with no girl Omars. And it's a way that I can communicate with them where it don't turn into an argument or they feel that I'm offending them because they going through what they going through at this milestone in their life. But I mean, I'm there for them. I got their backs. And my kids, they tell me, they be like, shit, we ain't having no kids. We ain't having no kids right now. We're going to school. So the thing is, though, is that, like I said, you teach them. I don't know. I'm gonna shut the fuck up because I'm trying to.
Yeah, Omar.
Can
See,
we
like
answer Omar real quick, y'all?
parenting is
What I said earlier. Once them children leave them house become grown, ain't really nothing you can do. You can complain when you go over there to see what's going on, but ain't no really you can do but complain.
I agree.
At the same
the
token,
hardest part about parenting is watching your child that doesn't have to listen to you anymore about to make a mistake and you can't stop it. That's the hardest part, when they don't have to listen anymore, right? So it's the parent's job to cram all of this information into 18 years, right? So they're prepared for when they don't have to listen. By that time, standards are set in their brain that they won't go below, right? So her catching a Pookie is less likely because you've already set her standard.
thank you.
For before your son becomes a Pookie, you've already set that standard in his life.
Thank you. My children are 25, 24, and 23, and they are not single mamas. They have never been married. They have jobs. Right now, they're currently making over 50, and they still have advancements going because I sent them to college. And I made sure that they understood the standard to the point where they don't even hang out in a place where they're going to find one of you pookies. Right? So it's a whole different world, and I understand it's not perfect. It's not going to be 100%, and there may be a chance something happened. But then that's when I go into the faith of my God, and I say, hopefully, when Daddy's gone, everything will turn out. But I gave them every opportunity to succeed. I didn't leave loopholes in just because somebody said, well, it's going to happen anyway. No, I gave them every bit of opportunity I possibly could, in every way, shape, or form, and then I just sit back here and I let God have it at that point. So yeah, all those things.
Chaotic. Well, some of the biggest pookies come out of college. All them struggling niggas that got to eat ramen noodles and
see there you go again with the small percentage.
Listen.
Nobody cares.
Wait, hold on. I'm just saying a lot of pookies are in college. I had to explain that to my friends. I'm like, the niggas in college, them the ones doing all the scams and all this shit. But like you said, if you put them in positions where they're not around those kind of people, I get it. But the thing is, for us to teach them, the key thing is what you said, they don't have kids. You're not even bailing them out right now. So they're on the right path. I'm not trying to come with something negative against that, but what I'm getting at is a lot of pookies are in college. A lot of them struggling motherfucking students, them be the worst niggas. Them the ones that's going around giving everybody diseases and motherfucking tapping out people's bank accounts and shit off the back. So it's just about teaching our kids
poison, Omar. Poison.
Have good
Omar.
judge of character.
Poison. It's not. If they never studied or collected the data of any poison, they're gonna always say it's TB, Omar, or
well,
disease.
Y'all have a good day, y'all good parents.
But
I love y'all.
if they study and did their research on poison, you would know. Bye, Omar. Yeah, look, we wouldn't be having this discussion now, would we? Yeah, I'm a firm believer that I did the right thing when I was 19. That bleach came in handy. Everybody gonna learn. It said each at the end.
Fathers, get active.
And stay active.
If you're not active, get your ass active. It don't matter what the fuck shortcomings you got. You need to get active.
All the time, real talk, like, at the end of the day, still communicate with your children. I don't care how old they are. Check on them, talk to them, And every now and then, sometimes you gotta rant on them. You still making bad decisions. Like, what the hell you doing over there? They'll look at you. They know you love. They know you love them. And sometimes the words do sink in. I got a grown son. He in construction and stuff. Sometimes he'll call me complaining about the farming and everything. But now, I told hold fast and keep at it. Now he's a supervisor. They just gave him a promotion last week. He's doing good, So, sometimes you just got to check on him. And like my son suffered from depression, so I'm always checking on him and talking to him. So,
you know the thing that I was wondering, because the way I'm hearing Chaotic speak, you got 3 girls, right? So
yeah, I got 3 girls and a boy.
Right. 3 girls and a boy. So your daughters could come to you if they're in a bind. Can your son come in when he in a bind?
Yeah, my son right in the same spot they in.
But
I'm just saying daughters because of the way the conversation is going.
Okay, so the expectation, if he got a woman there draining him, he got a job, but he's living, as Omar would say, in the fashion world and things like that. He's buying this girl expensive gifts. Would you still bail him out knowing he's not using his money properly?
No, now me and him have a conversation once again about finance.
Hell no.
I'm not. Hold on, y'all. Let me explain myself, right? Just like I said, my daughter, if you out here buying Gucci bags and shit and you telling me you need mortgage, that's a problem. With my son, if you out here buying shit for girls and then you telling me you need help with the mortgage, that's a problem. We're going to have a discussion about managing your money appropriately. It's both ways.
So she can
Corey, here's the problem.
Hold on. She can have a whole nigga stand with her and not make everything good and straight with that she parent, and he like they could get in the bind, and this shit here is like crazy because there's no expectation for a nigga that come in your daughter world and shit like that. I understand, but yeah, you gonna bail your daughter out, but then it's like I'm not gonna lie, the same expectations I hold for my son, I'm gonna hold for the nigga I'm gonna call my son-in-law. That's me.
And now I'm saying it's 100% around board, right? It's about how did you, when you said you get in a bind, you can't get in a bind with a BMW in the parking lot and you can't afford to pay your mortgage. That's 100% all the way around. I've been teaching them that since the beginning of time. It's the way you spend your money, how you spend your money, and where you put your money at. And I teach them all that, not just one of them. And if my son has the same issue, I'm coming to him the same way. Where are you wasting your money at, boy, to where you need to come to daddy and say, help me?
See, a lot of parents nowadays, especially, leave their complete education of their children to a stranger. Right? It's up to you as a parent. That the parent is the prepper, right, for the world. You're supposed to prep your children for the world. Okay? So when you sitting down doing bills, they need to be sitting down doing that shit with you.
Yes, sir.
Right? So they won't be caught blind to certain shit that the world has to offer them. All of the shit that you said, damn, my parents never taught me that, and you found out as an adult, you need to be teaching your children as children so they won't be blindsided when they become an adult. They need to understand how much money comes in the house and how much money goes out the house. They need to learn to pay themselves first. There's a whole bunch of things that we found out as adults that you should recognize as a parent and teach your children. And a lot of this shit won't even come into their life. All of these problems is because they didn't have proper parenting.
So if you notice, right, I told y'all what the age of my kids was. When me and my wife got together, we told our kids, hey, this is where we messed up at. We started too early. Here's what we did wrong. Don't follow us. Now here's what we did right. Learn how to do that. Hey, y'all want to turn around and say, well, Daddy, why can't I get this kind of car, and why you make me get a Nissan? Well, let me show you what me and your mama finances look like. Here's how much goes to retirement. Here's how much goes in the 401k. We showed them all that so they know every mistake I made. They know how not to make those mistakes. They watch everything I do. Now, does it cover everything? No. I know you're going to pick it apart and be like, well, what about this? There's always gaps or whatever, and something may or may not happen. But I gave them everything I had and everything I could. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I'm a country boy from Charleston, South Carolina, with a crackhead mama and a schizophrenic daddy, and I was in foster care 15 times. I'm just teaching them how not to go back and deal with that same trauma I did as a kid and how to move forward and be better people.
Man, you owe it to your children, man. They didn't ask to be here. Most of the time, they only here because your ass wanted to fucking feel good.
But even as the beginning of this whole conversation is what men are spending when it comes to relationships and things like this, how men are holding back. So even when you have them girls, no matter what you teach them, we gotta look at it. The men that they deal with, those are the wild cards, because we don't know what type of man they gonna choose. We don't know if they gonna go with men based off of standards and types. We don't know this, and those whole things could fuck up your kids' world, that world that you built for them. So we may not be here to see who they end up with. Like, you could tell them everything, but it's factors that you can't tell them. I'm sorry. It's only things you can warn them of until they get in that shit.
I literally just said that.
When you raising a woman child, you got to teach her what her pussy is.
I'm gonna tell you, Okay, go ahead.
No, you go
You got
ahead.
to
I've been
teach her
talking.
what her cobbler
What the
is, and you got to
fuck
teach
did
your
I come
son
back
what
to?
his dick is.
I don't know what he just said. That's why I was like, what did you just say? You got to teach her what her what is?
I said you have to teach her what her pussy is.
Wow.
Diabolical.
Now you might have to explain that.
How the
Real.
fuck is that diabolical?
Hold on,
That's
no,
the
real,
problem. That's the
hold on,
problem
real,
right now. These
real,
women
no,
don't know what they hold.
Hold on, real.
You got
Understand.
to teach your daughter her power.
Listen, real. Understand this. Earlier they were talking about we
No,
don't
hold
want
on.
to
This
equate
is exactly
pussy.
what
Hold
Diamond just
on.
said. No, Diamond just said this is how these men talk.
And she's goddamn right.
Why can't you
She
be
goddamn
submissive and
right.
let me finish?
Y'all
Because
said these are some. Y'all said these type
Real.
of
They
niggas
didn't
ain't
listen,
wanna, damn.
Coochie come with an admission fee.
Real. They didn't want to equate coochie to smextitution. They didn't want to equate it like that. Why is a man money worth her cooch? So they didn't want to do that.
It ain't the money. It's the security. Can this man that's entering your life?
Thank you, Real
So your
Sauce.
coochie could buy you security?
Can this man that's entering your life do for you as your father has? That's the reason why at the bottom of the fucking altar they say, who gives this woman to this man? Because that man is supposed to pick up where her father left off.
But they don't want to equate selling the coochie to the highest bidder that could provide.
Because it's not selling, y'all. Why do y'all keep saying that?
It's
y'all
not
are
selling.
Being, hold on, Rib, hold on, because I know you real excited, but y'all being some hypocrites right now. Because everything that Rib just said, Diamond said, and Omar, where you at? Bring your ass back up.
I
Because
said
y'all
it
was talking
too.
about, y'all was saying them niggas is Simpson, them is the fuck clubs, and them are the reject. Y'all was saying all that shit. Now
But
y'all boy Rib's house is over here.
Listen,
No,
I want my daughter with a simp because I simp for my daughter.
Oh my God! Why
She
are
can
y'all-
get
why
any
y'all
fucking
never
thing
let me
she wants from her
I've been so
father.
quiet for a long time. Can I finish? Rib, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you 100%. But if these other men up here were disagreeing with you, now they jeffing.
I'm not agreeing with shit.
Wait a minute, Dad, you ain't never heard that come from me. Cause I always tell dudes, suckers out here, like, don't be running with the suckers. Be honest about yourself. Cause like one day,
But also, boss man, you did just say something about whose culture is we praying to or marrying and all that other shit about the white team. You did just say that, and he just said they say, okay, but you just
I got a question.
Even in black
I got a
culture,
question.
even in black culture,
Okay.
y'all talking about white culture. Even in black culture, that man has to have a dowry.
Okay, I got a question. So in all culture or all eyes can see,
okay, y'all.
do I look black or do I look brown or do I look blue? Because somewhere in my eyesight, I can see very much a blue tint right here. Does that come from my mother or my father?
Rib sauce, real quick. Rib sauce. Yesterday, rib sauce. So the rib sauce. Yesterday, the elderly women said that they don't want y'all money. They want something else. Y'all don't have to take care of them because they got their own money. Yesterday, when I was called the daughter, the older elderly women said when they got their own money, they don't want y'all money, rib sauce. So you don't gotta take care of them, rib sauce. Just give them penis. Rib sauce? That's what the elderly women said.
Hey, look,
rib sauce?
and they old fucking fools.
That's what they said. That's what they said. Mm-hmm.
They old fools.
Oh.
Listen to me.
Oh,
if you go to Six Flags, if you go to Six Flags right now, you go to Dorney Park or fucking Disney World, you got a fucking admission fee. Once you pay the admission fee, there's a bar that if you're not over that bar, you cannot ride the ride.
They got their own money, rib sauce.
Woman is man's favorite amusement park. If they don't have the admission fee and they can't fucking pass the bar, they should not be able to enter.
But I'm broke and
Okay,
ugly, so
I
I'm
see
gonna
what he's
go.
saying now.
I'm broke and
I
ugly,
finally
so
I
I'm
finally
gonna
got
go.
what Ripsaw's saying.
And thank you so much for that, Rib Sauce. Please.
I see what he's saying now because there is a standard that my daughters are not gonna go below, and you ain't getting that far.
Exactly.
Oh shit, you a
Exactly.
motherfucking lie. Don't
It's
play.
okay for you to teach them chaotic to have their own. It's okay for you to teach them to be independent. However, do not allow them to lose themselves to the point where they still don't know what a man is supposed to do.
Correct, and I agree with that, and that is part of the I don't want to say training, but part of the culture I've instilled inside of him. He just said it a little different. I was like, what?
But that's the
The
whole thing.
absence
That's
of
the whole
man,
thing.
the absence of man in these little girls' lives is the reason why we having this fucking conversation.
But I said that shit too, and y'all told me I was wrong. I mean, V Ray came up here talking about a man got to spend a bag to get the coochie. So I mean,
Because
damn. But I was just talking about a man have to stand on
Corey,
his all 10 to show he a man. When I said the man needed to make sure that roof was over that woman's head, I don't care about the lights. Everybody told me I was wrong. God damn. At
no,
least I
Corey,
know
it's
she got
just
a place to lay her
like I
head.
said, it's an understanding.
That is what is happening a lot. We're seeing it a lot nowadays. A lot of women have replaced men with money.
It's an understanding, Corey, right?
Yeah, Diamond, because they find the security in the money.
Right.
They find the security in the money.
Right.
Like there's not a woman on this planet that does not look for security. It's up to the man to help her understand what security looks like.
See, I see it a little bit further too, y'all. I see it
Let me
like
say
this,
it right here,
right? My kingdom starts in my home. It's me and my wife. And once it gets past me and my wife, then it's my children. Once it's past my children, then it's the culture. I want my children to be able to move the African-American culture forward and not backwards. So in that aspect, I need them to be able to produce people and put more people in this world that are smarter, not to do the dumb shit that has our culture stuck in this perpetual cycle of idiocracy in some way, shape, or form. So I want that man to be able to come walk into my daughter's life and be able to turn my daughters into queens of their own domain and have children and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And that cannot happen if they all broke. If I gotta be the first one to be broke, I'll be the first one to be broke. But I'm giving my children that legacy and that diary that you speak of to move on with the rest of their life and get the head start that's the same other people get.
Yes.
I would love to hear what y'all teach y'all sons, because y'all don't never focus on them little fuckers. Y'all don't give a fuck about them. But go ahead.
You didn't hear me what I said earlier?
I said my son too.
It's up to the men to teach the men not to be the pookies. I said that.
I said I walked away. I'm at work. Friend, calm down. Why you so excited?
No. Because this shit is crazy. Listen, y'all always talking about this black unity and black community and all of this shit, but are the proponents of black extinction. Y'all are for everything that fucking is gonna cause extinction. You need to raise your children how the fuck they supposed to be as an adult. That's what a parent is. It's way past the discipline. It's the education in the whole thing. Oh, I raised my kids right. Why? Because you whooped their ass? Raising them right is teaching this woman, this young woman, what a woman is, this young man, what a man is, and how both of them fucking behave. What is expected of them both. Y'all letting other folks, strangers, raise your children. The teacher, the fucking what's the little white girl on YouTube with all that happy shit? Miss Rachel. Y'all letting these motherfuckers raise your children. Why? Because y'all crazy motherfuckers want to be on TikTok arguing with people. Raise your fucking children.
So, Dab, to answer you, I tell my son the same thing. Don't be out here making babies you can't afford. Don't be out here touching a woman if you ain't planning on marrying that woman. Don't be doing none of that stuff. And my boy listens. He's 20 and he got a job. And his first thing to me this morning was, Daddy, help me learn how to buy a car. Help me how to learn how to, save my money. He's not running around here chasing behind women. He's running around here learning how to be a man first.
But now, this is the thing. When these girls get assertive, not masculine. When these girls become confident, not masculine. When these girls become the woman that they're supposed to be, don't say, I'm going to take away my wallet now because she's become masculine. Because, see, they categorize masculine as all those things. Because if we save ourselves, we are masculine.
And I told my daughter, if somebody say that to you, then all you gotta do is look them in the face and say, I'll be that. But you ain't about to put a baby in here, you can't afford it. I wish they was home because I would put them on the phone and they'll tell y'all they correct people all the time with that bullshit. And I also tell them you can be assertive, but you got to watch how you talk to a man in the sense of the tone of the way you bring it to them, because sometimes they want to get aggressive and you can put me and your brother in jail because I'm gonna hurt somebody coming to my daughter sideways.
Why y'all niggas so quiet, man?
Because when it comes to positivity, most of the time it's not Gucci, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. They want to hear the drama. They want to hear me say that my daughter's got 15 baby daddies or something like that, and then be able to pick my story apart. They don't want to hear success. They want to hear failure, and that's the problem that we have in our culture. They don't want to hear 27 years of marriage with 4 kids that are successful. They want to hear 27 years of turmoil and baby daddies and women out here struggling. They don't want to hear the good stuff.
Well, I thank you for teaching your daughter that, because if I had someone to actually guide me, I would probably be more receptive to a lot of the ish that I overcome. But they say I stay stuck in my little trauma or my childhood phase. But I smile, still carry on to this day. But I'm happy that someone's out here actually teaching women.
I want to come get a 9-volt battery.
Check this out, Kelsey.
Yeah. I want to come get a 9-volt battery, Kelsey, and come fix that fire alarm. Like, come on now.
Kelsey, you cannot allow your past to control the future, right? Because you got out of it. And you don't have to go through it no more. So now it's onward. You can move on. You can't move on holding on to what's behind you. That's why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror in the fucking car, because you're supposed to look forward more than you look backwards.
And don't get it twisted. We have some problems in our life. We just know how to handle it and talk each other through it. Because my wife and my kids will tell you, Daddy has a problem being, lovey-dovey. I really do. Like it's hard for me to receive gifts and smile and say that, like, oh, thank you. It's hard for me. That's a problem I have. I have a problem with accepting outside entities talking to me and giving me advice in any way, shape, or form. But I'm learning how to fix that. And my wife is the one who sits me down and calms me down and takes me out of the security aspect of myself and say, now listen, as a man and a father, and not as that security figure. And now let me tell you how to handle your daughter the right way, because you can't bark at them. You can't do. She's the one that calms that part of myself down. But like there's things we have about each other that is messed up, but we just know how to handle each other and soothe that out.
So my question would be
Absolutely.
like,
I
hold
appreciate you
on,
saying I appreciate you saying that, Caleb, because a lot of people can't stay on jobs, not because they don't have the work ethics or not because they don't have the training. The reason why some people can't stay on jobs is because they challenge authority. And the reason why they challenge authority is because they feel like they don't want people telling them nothing to do. And it's sad because it starts at home when they go against their parents and they feel like they've got bigger than the group. When they get bigger than the group and then they take that to the job, that's the reason why those people are not prosperous, because they challenge authority.
well,
They have a problem.
sorry, I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, well, my question would be, what is the consensus? Because I know Rev gave the theme part consensus of allowing you in access. So what would be the consensus of allowing access when it comes to this dating phase? Because as the video stated, you're cutting off part of you, so men are cutting off part of them and things like that. So what would be the consensus for it to be open? What would be allowed? What would be acceptable from women, and what would be acceptable for men to do their part? That's what would need to be discussed, because it's what are we accepting when it comes to this?
You have to take the monetary value off of the dating aspect, right? When you're dating, you're just getting to know somebody. Who pays doesn't matter when you both broke. And I told my kids they broke, right? You making $52,000, y'all broke. Y'all ain't there yet. And nobody young under the age of 25 is making six figures immediately unless you some kind of basketball star or something like that. So when it comes to dating, take the monetary value off of it, right? Go to places you can afford. Have the opportunity to get to know somebody without it being a money factor or a need factor. And then once you know that you like that person, then now you can move forward and try to figure out bigger and better things, and then move on from that. When we sit down and say, oh, well, I meet you, I'm going to hold my wallet. Okay, hold your wallet. Like, who the hell cares? I just come here to find out if you somebody cool I can have a conversation with.
Like, when you say that, I want you to understand this. Some people, when you bring people into your life, they're not accepting of your lifestyle. So why now would I involve you into something that you're not acceptable to? That's like the difference between somebody who takes vacation for a couple of days and somebody who plans for a vacation for a month. If we're not on the same bracket, we can't channel the same circuits, and I'm going to tell you why. Because that's going to trigger something in you. Either you're going to become envious of me, or you're going to start trying to compete with me. And then that's when we have a problem with our friendship and our relationship. You got to figure out that everybody can't go with you. And those that can't go with you, if you can't provide the lifestyle for them, you need to either reevaluate your friendship or find out what category you're going to put them in your life, because you're the CEO of your own life. You dictate who rises and who falls in your life, because you can't take everybody with you, because sometimes you take people with you and you put yourself in danger.
Now here's where the bias comes, and everybody gonna be mad at me. That's what I tell my son. My daughters, I let them know that you need to be able to take care of yourself and yourself only. At that point, now when it comes to my boy, I tell him you need to be able to take care of yourself, the woman you're with, and the children you produce. That's just it. And you're like you said, you can't bring everybody with you. You're not going to be able to bring everybody with you. Now, if you get that woman who is going to sit down like my wife did and say, yes, you can, you will be the provider, you will be the security, and I'm going to sit here. But And like what Diamond said, my wife did not buy or pay for our lives at the beginning. What she did was, whenever I was taking care of our necessities, she would sometimes be the one to say, "Hey, you're paying all the bills, you're keeping us floating, we got these kids, you're buying the stuff that we need. I'm going to treat you, and I'm going to take what I earn, and I'm going to go buy us a crab dinner because I got extra money, or I decided to go work at the exchange for for a month, and I got some extra money, so we can go do this, so we can go do that, because I took care of the necessities, and she felt like extra shit, she might cover that part of it."
That's a wife.
And as soon as she did that, that's when I was like, "Bro, let me go get this ring."
So
that's a wife.
if a man opened up to your daughters and did what you did, and then are you expecting them to do that type of style as your wife? You expecting them to be that type of person?
Say that again. I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Okay, as your wife did with you and you did with her, your daughters are on a level where you place them with what you place them financially. You would expect them to do the same thing your wife did with you?
In the sense of what? What part did she do with me that you're talking about?
Just showing that wifely quality, showing that partner quality. Like, okay, you did this, let me do this.
Yeah.
So you expect them to do it to a man that comes in with lesser than them?
No, but the key part of what I said is, I took care of the necessities. We did not need anything. There's some things that me and I wanted, but that was on the other side of it, right? It was what we needed. If they don't need anything, and then my daughter say, "Well, we don't need anything, but we want to go with mama and daddy to Vegas, and I know you paid all the bills.
You should have did better.
That's fine.
Did better.
I need to ask you a question, Kate, out of give me a both of y'all. Do y'all expect y'all boys to wear a purse just like y'all daughters?
No, it
Hell
wasn't a
no.
goddamn purse.
Okay.
Why
would you say that? Y'all expect y'all sons to go to like the mall and buy dresses and get all this stuff dolled up just like a girl? Do y'all expect y'all boys to do that?
Hell no.
So why would you expect your boy, your little boy, or your grown man, or your adolescent son to do anything that has anything to do with a girl?
I don't understand that question.
Because the way he's making it seem like, because you have to do everything. He's comparing, are you going to do the same way with your daughter that you do with your son? I hope you don't. I hope you don't treat your daughter like you would treat your son. I hope you don't.
Yeah, I don't. I get what you're saying. I don't.
Because it makes no sense to say, you're going to teach your son how to be a man. Your daughter has to remain a female no matter what. No matter what the circumstance is, she's going to remain a female. But in the man situation, you are going to say, well, my son is to the side. My son's going to put me to the side. Hey, I need a couple of dollars, Dad. This is what it is. And you're going to expect him to say, I can get his back, or I can work hard, or I can come over here and help you. That's a man trade-off. But as far as a woman, you know for a fact, your daughter going to need that help no matter what. Or she going to have to do something else to get it. Now, which one is more imperative?
I'm going to do more for my daughter than I ever do for my son. That's it. That's
Exactly.
all.
That's all I'm saying.
And that's it.
Thinking nut ass
I'm going to do for them equally, but they get taught differently.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because you're not going to treat your daughter like you're going to treat your son. There's no way you can do it.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to wash and take care of my daughter's car. But my son's car, me and him going out there and I'm going to teach him how to do it.
Right. Like my mama, she gonna make sure she give my little sister everything, but she gonna make sure that.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with him as much as it can, because that's a bonding moment with my son, who is now used to be my little son, but now he's a young man.
Extra Dusty, why you got that?
And that's another thing. We forget that these children are only children for a blink of an eye. You're going to be a grown person longer than you are a child.
Yeah,
We
I'm
got to
gonna
keep
teach
these
my
things
man.
in mind when we raising these children. Oh, this is my baby. That's my baby. Yeah, you keep treating them like a fucking baby. They're going to be a baby all their life and end up a piece of shit.
And Kelsey, don't be up there showing your hoo-ha on camera no more. That's crazy. Don't do that no more. It's nasty too. Don't want no
And
men
that's the
looking at you
problem
like
with you,
that.
Hank, is that you want people to treat you equally. And that's why you're still a grown-ass man playing with dolls. See, that's the problem. See, either you're gonna have a collection or you're gonna have a play date. Which one are you gonna have? Because it looks like it looks like you're confused to me. It looks like you're confused. Like I said, you would sit up here and call grown women heifers and tell Keith he got sweet feet. You make a decision on what you want to be, buddy.
And twinkle, 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 little lamb or something, twinkle star.
You see what I'm saying? It makes no difference. And then he called
Mhm.
himself married, and he say married man is winning. It looked like he's winning something, but it's not the
That's
marriage.
because married men are winning.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Not
Me and my
all
wife are
of them
winning.
winning. Not all of them. Some of them in some depressing ass state. Especially if you get a whole goddamn collection of baby dolls and then you walk around with the damn baby dolls. Shit, something wrong. Something going on. Especially at 50 years old. Baby dolls. Oh no.
Yeah, my boy gets a little bit different lessons than my daughter, and they know it because when I give my boy the lessons that he needs, it's in front of the whole family the same way I do in front of my daughters. They get annoyed with it because I say family meeting, everybody in here, and now I'm saying now we talking about what my son doing, or everybody in here. Let's talk about my daughter's doing. So everybody hear the same speech and they understand the same thing that I'm giving one or the other. And I'll say, like, this is just for BJ to understand. He needs to understand, blah, 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 blah. And y'all should expect that from a man too. And that's just the way I do it.
Okay, so if you do it in that form, and the heart is found of no gender role, and it is able to contrast everything that is either heard, seen, or felt in that form, and what doesn't that weight still, even though you know, boom, 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 which one gets this and which one get that, doesn't they still carry that away inside their heart, that what you said, and then it also grabs the thought, but even if I'm not supposed to, but I still have it, so then they carry that pressure onto their heart too. So it really has no gender then. In reality,
I think I understood what you said, but let me say it this way, right? Another lesson I teach my kid is life ain't fair. And that's just it. You either gonna you were born a certain way, and you were born to be something in life, and it ain't gonna be fair. And it starts right here. It starts in this house first. So when you get out in the street and you realize it ain't fair, you ain't crying and breaking down like a little like a little baby. Life is not fair. Your sister's gonna get something that you ain't gonna get. You gonna get something that your sisters ain't gonna get. Life is not fair.
You're right, Kelsey. Both, even though human, both of them do carry the same emotions and the same fears. They can have all the same things, but their weaknesses and strengths are different. That's the part that you can confuse. We're not talking about who they are. We were talking about who they are as a person. By him being a male, I'm expect different things. I'm not going to expect the same thing that a female, even though I can teach them the same things. I'm going to expect them to carry it different than the female carries it. That's what I'm going to expect. I'm not going to expect the same exact thing from both of them. No.
Thank you, because I didn't understand.
I did. She a little deep though. She just deep. You got a goddamn grasp what she talking about, but she deep.
She's so deep, you need scuba gear. And I ain't had mine.
Me neither, but I was floating. My dog get paddled through it. I got what she talking about. Gotta just listen hard. Gotta listen hard. Diamond. Diamond.
Well, y'all have a good
They
day.
over here cussing on your panel.
I want to say
All
one more
right,
thing before
chaotic.
you leave. Y'all had the most beautiful conversation. I understood a whole lot. Y'all won't arguing over each other. I mean, it varies days to days. Y'all have y'all days. Y'all have y'all don'ts, and some days y'all don't want to come out here and be civil and conversate. Y'all want to sit up here and holler and scream and push the whole screen. And I understand that. But yeah, I want y'all to have a wonderful day. Happy said Good Friday to you. Easter right around the corner Sunday. Jesus.
This Sunday, you have yourself a happy Good Friday too, Kelsey. And let me
Yes.
tell you this: stop showing your stuff online.
This is not Cobbler Strip Express. I understand, Bryce.
Right.
Right.
Don't be doing that. Don't have to let everybody see that. Don't do that. Might as well be a corn star if you're gonna do all that. Or old fans. Stuff
That's
like that.
right.
Don't be showing up there. Don't just toot your cuckoo up there.
Don't
And
toot
show
it up.
people. Yeah. Let that go. Shit.
Let it go.
Yeah, because there be some
Hold
freaks.
on, where I go, hold on, where's going that I ain't?
Huh?
Where's going that I ain't?
I don't got my scuba gear on. What you say? Shut up.
What is going on right now?
Still don't
I'm
get
waiting
it.
off the
For
Have a
Easter,
good
they
day.
help the
Love
couples.
y'all.
No, ma'am, Kelsey. Y'all go stuff that'll help the couples for Easter. If y'all looking for different things to color, y'all can color yourselves. At the Dollar Tree, they got body paint. Go get you some, get in there, and y'all paint, do body art on each other, and then rinse it off and see how fast y'all can get it. The next thing I want to tell y'all do, they got them edible eggs, and they also got edible panties. Y'all need to go get y'all some of them. See what the chocolate tastes like. The next thing I want to tell you is that if you really want to mess them up, let me tell you what you do. Go put on you a nice little lingerie outfit, one of them trench coats. Tell him to come pick up his lunch and say, hey, look, I'll be waiting on that when I get off work. Y'all have a nice day. I'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye, Kelsey. Chastity.
I just want to know where y'all putting them eggs at, and I'm out.
Good night.
Good night. Diamond, it look like it's just you and Jeepers Creepers.
Okay, y'all.
Diamond.
Okay.
It look like it's just me, you, and Jeepers Creepers up here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where he get those weepers?
That's fine, y'all. That's fine. I got. That's fine. I got to get out of here. Thank y'all so much. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Hold on. You love to be in a rush like Hoover calling ya. Hoover ain't calling ya. Hoover not
No, it's your
calling ya.
daddy. It's
I
your
was just
daddy.
about to yoke this little 130-pound nigga up.
It's your daddy.
176 solid nigga, big
It's your
ain't the way.
daddy.
Don't
It's your
matter, you
daddy
still
calling
too
me.
light to fight.
Yeah,
It's
that's
your
right.
daddy calling me. It's your daddy. Okay.
And
Daddy
then answer. Have a good day.
Okay,
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right,
All right,
Diamond.
baby. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
All right, extra dusty,
All right.
Jeepers Creepers looking motherfucker.
Bye, y'all.
All right, lightweight.